Hello, my name's Stephen Knight from Wellbeing Meeting, and I'm here today with Rachel Graham. Rachel, over the last 3 years, has taken an amazing transformation, not only physically from being overweight and living an unhealthy lifestyle to now completely the opposite, but also a mental transformation as well. Rachel, thank you so much for being with me today. Firstly, how would you describe yourself about 5 years ago, and what was that defining moment that sparked the change? Was it sudden or was it a gradual process?
Well, 5 years ago, well, up to 5 years ago, I'd say I was in a pretty dark place. I'd been through, depression, anxiety, bullying, all kinds of things. So I'd spent many, many years in a really dark place. And then about 5 years ago, I ended up quite large. I was in my last year of university and standard uni student, ate nothing but crap, drank far too much cider and wine, and the weight really piled on. So a really defining moment for me, and I'll remember this day for the rest of my life, was I was around my boyfriend's house. It was his parents' house. He lived with his parents, and I went into the bathroom and I saw the bathroom scales. I thought, oh, I'll just weigh myself, see how I'm doing, because I'd always wanted to lose weight and I just couldn't control my eating. So I stood on it, saw my weight. It had never been that high before, and I did a calculation, worked out my BMI, and discovered that I was now officially overweight. I'd gone from just being a little bit larger, but still healthy, to officially overweight. And that was a really low point at the time for me, but it was a real wake-up call, and that kicked my butt into action, and that's where I began my fitness journey, my weight loss journey, and ultimately my transformation.
Controversially, I understand that whilst you have a body that many only dream of being able to achieve, you don't diet, and you also enjoy a glass of wine and a slice of cake. Now, there's many people out there who believe that to live a healthy lifestyle, then you can never eat fat or sugar ever again. So how do you do it? Do you exercise more to compensate for it, or do you have another strategy?
Well, first of all, let's just deal really quickly with the myth about fat. Fat is really healthy for you. It's been demonised, but fat is really important. Sugar really is if you're going to have an enemy, it should be sugar. Fat is an absolutely crucial part of your diet. And when you actually go for low-fat versions of food, it's usually, fat adds taste and flavour to food, so it's usually made up for with sugar or artificial sweeteners, which is 10 times worse. But yeah, so the way that the first time I lost weight, because I yo-yoed for a few years, the first time I lost weight was dieting. It was strict calorie counting, which worked, but it was so strict that as soon as I hit my goal weight, it was like, well, hey, I can go back to eating my old ways again, because I hadn't learned how to just eat healthily. I only knew how to do one extreme or the other. Second time I lost weight, I had a meal plan written for me by a personal trainer. Again, it worked, but as soon as I hit my goal weight, it was like, well, hey, sick of this really strict diet. So I went back to my old ways and piled the weight back on again. And then eventually, I did a few detoxes as well, where the weight came off really, really quickly, but it was super duper restrictive. So the weight came back on again almost as quickly. So then eventually it was just healthy eating. I just learnt to eat healthily 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time I can go easy on myself. So it's, during that 20% where I might have some cake or a glass of wine, and I'm lying, I never stop at one glass, maybe a bottle of wine. And
as long as it's just one something, it doesn't matter whether it's a glass or a bottle, it's just one.
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, it could be one massive bottle, I don't know, big bottle of that would be nice. So yes, it's as simple as that. I think dieting's got its place. But I think if you're looking for a long-term change, and this is how I work with my clients as well, I don't put them on diets, I teach them how to eat clean. If you want a long-term change, whether you just want to be healthy or you want to lose weight, works both ways, just get in the habit of eating healthily 80% of the time.
So lots of fruits, vegetables.
Yeah, I use loads of fruits, vegetables, wholemeal grains, so like wholemeal bread, pasta, things like that, nuts, just... like real food. So avoiding processed foods like pastries and cakes and sausages and chicken nuggets, ready meals, stuff that's not kind of as nature designed it.
Yeah. So it's okay to eat those, but just not regularly as a staple part of your diet every day.
Absolutely, yeah, just keep it in control. And when you allow yourself those junk foods 20% of the time, it makes it so much easier to stick to the healthy eating, the other 80%, because you know you're not saying no forever, it's just until, you know, whenever you planned it.
So in terms of exercise, as well as the diet, you have achieved your current physique with weight training. And there's lots of different forms of exercise out there. Some people prefer some to others. What is it about weight training that's so special to you? And would you recommend that people persevere with weight training even if they don't like it or they prefer other forms of exercise?
In terms of what people should stick to, look at your goals. And my recommendation would be to look at your goals and find out the best type of exercise to achieve that specific goal and try that. So for example, if it's weight loss, the best thing, contrary to what most people think, is weight training. So that's lifting weights, strength training. It's the best thing you can do for weight loss. So I recommend everyone tries that. If you don't love it, I mean, give yourself a fair chance, try it for a few weeks. If you don't love it, then do something else. Do the next best thing, because adherence is more important than having the perfect thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you stick to weight training and you hate it, I don't know why anyone would hate it though, because it's amazing. You're probably only going to stick to it for 2 weeks. You could do the perfect thing, but only for 2 weeks. Whereas if you decide you really like Zumba, you're more likely to stick to it. It might not be as effective for weight loss, but you're going to do it forever and ever or whatever, then you're going to get much better results. What do I love about weight training? So, I don't know, it's extremely empowering, and I just really enjoy that time to myself. So I enjoy training. I train 6 days a week. I enjoy it so much that it feels like a guilty pleasure. That's how much I've fallen in love with weight training, which most people do, by the way, once they open up their world to it. It's just, yeah, it's very empowering, and you see the progress. So I feel quite guilty if I spend more than an hour in the gym or something, because I enjoy it that much.
Something that I believe is that investment in yourself is the best investment that you can make. Do you think that you would have been able to achieve what you've done if you hadn't have worked on your mindset?
Absolutely not, no. Mindset is crucial, and it's a lifelong commitment. It's something you should work on daily. And that's what really turned my life around. So, you know, I mentioned earlier about the darkness, and I came from a really dark place, and fitness and losing the weight changed all that. Well, it wasn't so much the fitness and the weight loss itself that played a significant part, but it was the personal development and the mindset work that came hand in hand with it. You know, and now I'm committed. I'll work on my mindset and take care of myself every day for the rest of my life, because it's absolutely crucial, and that's what I'm here to kind of do now. Is I want to share that message and show other people how to do the same thing and get them educated on the importance of it.
So it sets that foundation for everything else that you do.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Now, you have a growing following at the moment as you're inspiring both other women and men to take control of their lifestyle and their future. Do you think that that's because there's something about you or your journey that they can relate to?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I've got a lot of stories from my past. You know, I've got a past of depression, bereavement. You know, I lost my dad when I was little. Bullying, PTSD, anxiety, abandonment issues. You know, I've got tons and tons of stories from my past that I'm pretty open and honest and quite happy to share. And so those different stories, people can often see themselves and they really relate. So there's that side. But even like in the present, I'm quite open and honest about what's going on with me now. So if I have like a really bad day, I don't mind sharing it. I don't think I need to put myself up on this pedestal and pretend to be this happy, positive person 100% of the time. I am a very happy, positive person. Probably happier, more positive than most people. And I have a really good outlook on life, but I'm still human. So I'm not like that 100% of the time. I still have moments. Sometimes my self-esteem drops, or I'm just grumpy, or I'm tired. And I think the fact that I'm open about that publicly as well just allows people to kind of trust in me and relate, and they go, okay, so she's not some, I don't know, magical unicorn person who's happy all of the time. She is actually human, and if she's human, I'm human too, so maybe I could achieve that as well.
Yeah, it gives people permission to not be okay, which means that it's easier for them to realise how they can become more positive on a daily basis.
Absolutely, and I fully believe that it's, you know, it's okay to not be okay. I think it's really important to, when you're feeling negative emotions, don't try and fight them, don't try and hide them, don't feel bad for having them. Really good practice is to just recognise them and be like, okay, I feel crap today. That's interesting, and then it takes the power away from them.
So don't put any judgment in that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Could you tell me a bit more about what you offer people who mentally or physically might not be where they want to be?
So I do kind of a mixture of things really. My biggest goal, I suppose, is to just inspire people to take control of their lives. I think like the biggest message I could pass on to people is you have the power. If you're overweight, if you're depressed, if you're in any way, you know, in a dark place, you have the power to change. And so that's what I'm kind of here to do, is to just share my story, share my message repeatedly to empower people to take action and actually make that change. So whether that's through physical fitness or through mindset work or getting them to go out and seek professional help for mental health problems or anything like that, that's what I'm here to do.
Lastly, do you have any top tips that we might not have covered that we could start implementing today?
Going back to mindset again, mindset daily, every day for the rest of your life. You know, for me personally, I meditate for 10 minutes a day and I write in my journal to get all my thoughts and stuff down on paper. Make yourself a priority. We feel like it's bad to be selfish and put yourself first, especially if you've got a family to take care of or anybody else to take care of. But you can't take care of everyone else properly if you're not taking care of yourself. And I know since I started making my physical fitness and my mental well-being a priority, I became a way better mother, far better mum, and a better friend and a better sister, and all of those things. So when you make yourself a priority, everyone benefits. Yeah, those are my top tips. And you know what as well? Sacrifice stuff that doesn't mean as much. I think we put too much impact on stuff, too much importance on stuff rather than ourselves. So I can explain that better with an example. When I first joined the gym, so almost 2 years ago, I broke up from my daughter's dad the next month, and I looked at the cost and I was like, oh no, I had no income, and suddenly I had this new cost, and then I looked at my, I got a letter through like the next day from Sky saying my Sky package was going to go up by £1 a month. But that made me think, and I looked at it and I realised the cost of my Sky package plus my TV licence came to more than my gym membership. So I cancelled them so that I could continue with my gym membership. Because TV is something we think is, you know, standard, but it's just a stuff, it's just a thing. And, you know, if I had to sell my TV and sell my sofas and all my furniture to be able to continue to invest in myself, I absolutely would. Those are luxuries. You are the most important thing.
Rachel, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today. I've really enjoyed seeing your journey over the last few years, and I'm looking forward to the next steps. I'm sure there are great things ahead.
Awesome, thank you.